Hello students, welcome to Love for Reasoning. Now today we are going to discuss a very good topic, blood relations. As you all know, this topic is going to be very important for you in all the competitive examinations or any entrance examinations. You are going to receive a minimum of 3 marks or a maximum of 5 marks from this topic. So that is why if you know the basics of this particular topic, or if you know the rules how exactly we need to proceed to find out our answers, then the questions, when it comes to the questions, it is going to be very easy for you to identify your answer. So there are 3 different models in this particular topic. One is individual and paragraph questions, and the second one is based on the photographs questions, which is going to be a very crucial for you, and that is also a bit of confusing initially because you do not have a proper basics. But once you got your basics, then it is going to be very easy for you. It is initially going to be a bit of confusing. I must say it is going to give you a very hard time in the beginning until and unless you are not thorough with your basics. But once you are done with your basics, then that particular second one based on the photographs is also going to be very easy for you. And we also have shortcut to identify your answer when it comes to the photographs. So, and the third model is coded relations. What do you mean by a coded relation? A coded relation is nothing but is going to give you some symbols and ask you to convert into the blood relations. So that third model is going to be very simple if at all you are doing your first model thoroughly. Okay, now before moving on to the model number 1, 2 and 3, I have to teach you the basics of blood relations, what are the important keywords, and as well as what are the rules you are supposed to follow. Because when it comes to your mother tongue, we do have a lot of relations, we do have a lot of variety of keywords, but when it comes to the subject, especially in English, okay, please do remember we have got a certain points you have to keep it in your mind, and then only you can proceed with the relations. So without wasting our time, let us observe the basics of blood relations. Now when I say blood relations, the first and foremost important people on this planet that comes into your mind is definitely your parents. Am I correct? It's definitely your parents. Now parents include both your mother and as well as your father, correct? I'm just trying to give you the information based on their generations. You try to observe here, your parents actually belongs to your generation or your previous generation, definitely your previous generation. So the first and foremost important people are definitely your parents. Your parents include both your mother and as well as your father. Am I correct? Now let me also ask you one more important question. Now in the parents generation, correct, in the parents generation we have some other people, but we are never going to address them, we are never going to call them as our parents. We are going to call them as what? Your aunt and as well as uncle. Now these two people are also going to stay in the same generation of your parents. Am I correct? Now whom do you call aunt and whom do you call uncle? This is what you need to learn from this particular topic. Now please observe here, your mother's sister, younger one or older one, whatever it is, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about whether the person is the younger one or the older one. Whoever it is, your mother's sister is going to be called as your aunt. But when it comes to your mother tongue, whatever your mother tongue it is, you do have a different set of keywords. If at all a person is younger, you have a different keyword. If a person is older than your mother, you have a different keyword. But when it comes to the subject, yes, very clearly your mother's sister is definitely going to be your aunt, and as well as your father's sister is also going to be your aunt. Am I clear? Right. Now whom do we call uncle? It is your mother's brother. Do not worry about in this entire topic whether the person is elder one or the younger one. Your mother's brother is also your uncle and your father's brother is also your uncle. So how do we represent this information? How do you remember this information? Then I have to say They are siblings of parents. What is it I have to mention here? They are siblings of your parents. Siblings of parents are going to be called as what? Aunt and as well as uncle. Am I clear? Now please remember this sibling keyword for a long period, because sibling is a keyword. If at all it is used by your examiner, definitely your examiner tries to confuse you by using the sibling keyword. You know why? If I use the sibling keyword, it is impossible for you to identify the gender. It is definitely impossible for you to identify the gender when I use a keyword called what? Siblings. See, if I say I have two sisters, or if I say I have two brothers, then immediately you can identify that I am trying to speak about my brothers or sister or male or female, correct? But when I use a keyword saying that I have two siblings, it is impossible to identify the gender what I am trying to convey here. It could be both male or both female or a male and female. That is why sibling keyword is definitely given by your examiner or used by your examiner in order to confuse you. So please make sure you remember this keyword. Now, as we are discussing, parents, your aunt and uncle belongs to your generation or your previous generation. You try to understand this particular keyword, what I am trying to use it. I am going to rephrase it. I am going to use it again and again. So that is why I am repeating it again and again. Okay. So both of them belongs to our previous generation. Am I correct? Both of them belongs to our previous generation. Now, I have to say, after our previous generation, it is all about our generation. Now, in our generation, who is the most important persons? Obviously, it is your siblings, correct? Now, just now I have mentioned, whom do we call siblings? It could be either your sister or your brother. It could be anyone. Either your sister or your brother is going to be called as what? Your siblings. Am I correct? Now, in our generation, apart from our siblings, we have some other people. And who are they? They are your cousins. Most of you people are always aware of the blood relations. I am trying to teach you what are the important keywords we have got here, and I am going to teach you what are the rules you have to keep it in your mind in order to solve all the questions. We are all familiar with our blood relation from our childhood. I am not going to teach you which is not going to be there. Okay, so we are discussing all the relations whatever we came to know from our childhood, but in a glance I am just teaching you. Now, whom do we call cousin? It is definitely, you have to understand, they are children of your aunt and uncle. Please remember, they are children of your aunt and as well as uncle. This is what you are supposed to remember. They are children of your aunt and uncle. Please remember, when I use a keyword called sibling, it is impossible for you to identify the gender. But when I use a keyword called cousin, I don't have to bother about the gender. It could be anyone, but end of the day, my answer is going to stay as what? Cousin. So what is that I want to say here is, your aunt's son or daughter, whoever it is, your answer becomes what? Cousin. And your uncle's son or daughter, your answer becomes what? Cousin. So this is the way we are supposed to remember our relations. Now, if you closely observe, I am trying to categorize the relations based on our generations. You are also supposed to remember in the same way, so that as soon as you see that particular keyword in your exam or while practicing from any given question, immediately you are supposed to recall where exactly this person is going to fit, whether this person is going to stay in our generation or in our previous generation. That is the way you need to analyze over here. Now, I want to tell you one more important point. What is it? After our previous generation, that I have to go with the next generation, that is our generation. We have finished it. Now, after our generation, let us move forward with our next generation persons. They are your niece and as well as your nephew. Please do remember, niece and as well as nephew are very important when it comes to your examination point of view. But you know why? Because niece and nephew belongs to our next generation. and in examination you are going to see a maximum of 3 generations. While using niece and nephew only, you are supposed to crack the given question, so that it is going to be very easy for you to identify your answer. Correct? Now, whom do we call niece and whom do we call nephew? That is the way you are supposed to remember over here. Now, please do remember, here comes the rule number 1. Never convert them into your mother tongue. Whatever your mother tongue it is, I don't have to worry about, or you don't have to worry about it. Whatever your mother tongue is, never try to convert into mother tongue. See, immediately you may have this doubt, sir, why are you asking me not to convert into mother tongue, which is very easy for me, which is clearly going to understand the question. No, that is completely false information. You know why? Because when you convert into mother tongue, male are going to receive a different answer and females are going to receive a different answers. That is why we are never going to convert into our mother tongue. So please do remember, this topic clearly says niece is nothing but your sibling's daughter. This is the way you need to remember. It's nothing but what? Your sibling's daughter. Your sibling's daughter is nothing but your niece. Please do remember this information for a long period. Your sibling's daughter. Now, sibling include both your sister and as well as brother. So your sister's daughter is also your niece and your brother's daughter is also your niece. Whatever gender you are, whether you are male or female, it doesn't matter. Ultimately we are supposed to get only one particular answer. So that is why niece is going to be called as what? Sibling's daughter. And who is the next person we have got over here? It is nephew. So now can I say it as sibling's son? Am I correct? Yes. Sibling's son is going to be your nephew. Correct? Again, I am clearly saying whether you are male or female, it doesn't matter. End of the day, every person, whoever writing the exam, should get a particular answer. You cannot have different answers, so that we are all going to end up in meeting in a court to figure out whose answer is correct. So that is why we are never going to fall for that particular trap. So nephew is definitely your sibling's son. Your brother's son is also your nephew, and your sister's son is also going to be called as what? Nephew. If you convert into mother tongue, again we are going to receive a different answers. That is why rule number 1 clearly says never convert into your mother tongue. Please do remember one information which I am going to say now. Even though I am saying you not to convert into mother tongue, you are going to commit the same mistake again and again. You know why? Because we are much more habituated from our childhood, maybe from the past 20 years or 18 years, we got habituated with our childhood information, how exactly you are supposed to go with the blood relations. That is why it is very crucial that you should have a strong basics, so that only your mother tongue influence is going to be very slowly, it is going to be degraded. Okay, please do remember. Now let us move forward to the next information which I want to tell you is the most important person on this planet, the most dangerous person on this planet is nothing but your spouse. Correct? Now please do remember, earlier we have discussed the relation of our own blood relation, but now we are going to discuss the relation which occurs to us through system of marriage. Okay, now your spouse could be either wife or husband, it could be anyone. But when your examiner is using a keyword called spouse, how do you understand the person is wife or husband in the question? Very simple. If the subject, you know what I mean by subject, the person who is speaking, that is your speaker or your subject, imagine you have got a very clear idea that this subject is a male and he says my spouse, immediately you need to understand that he is talking about his wife. But if your subject is a female and she says my spouse, immediately you need to understand she is talking about her husband. You cannot just question it, how do you got this information? No, please remember rule number 2. Male and male, female and female cannot get married to each other in the topic. Outside it is your wish, I don't have any problem. But please do remember here, it is always important to understand, and you are supposed to take the information granted, because your examiner is not going to reveal a complete information. It is completely based on your assumption only. That is why blood relations are going to be a bit of confusing initially if at all you are not aware of the rules. So I'm clearly mentioning you rule number 1, do not convert into mother tongue, and rule number 2 states that male and male, female and female cannot get married to each other. Now this rule number 2, is appearing to be very silly or very funny, but remember, this rule number 2 is going to help you out throughout the blood relation whenever you are trying to figure out what is the answer for a particular question. This rule number 2 is always going to give you a very good chance of getting your answer very easily. So please do remember this information. Correct? Now, apart from these persons, we do have one more relation. You know what is that relation we have got over here? They are nothing but your in-laws. Then I have to mention them. Now in-laws are also going to be part of your life through system of marriage. They are not your own blood relations. Now any person is related to you through system of marriage is going to be called as what? In-law. Now let us categorize these persons are also based on the what? Generation only. Now let us go with the first person. You know who is the first person I have got here? I have to say it is mother-in-law. Now mother-in-law is nothing but your spouse mother. Your spouse mother, but for both male and as well as female this information is applicable. Your spouse mother is going to be called as what? Your mother-in-law. Am I clear? Right. Next person in the same generation we have got here, and who is that person? Father-in-law. So can I say it as your spouse father? Yes. Now these two actually belongs to your previous generation, correct? Mother-in-law and as well as your father-in-law, correct? Let us move forward with the next generation persons we have got over here. And who is it? Yes, your sister-in-law. Please do remember, whom do you call sister-in-law? It is definitely your spouse sister, and as well as, please, not only your spouse sister, as well as your brother's wife. Your brother's wife is also going to be called as what? Sister-in-law, because she is also not part of your family. She is also entering into your family through system of marriage. That is why we have two possibilities saying that spouse sister and as well as brother's wife. These two information you are supposed to remember when a keyword sister-in-law is appearing in your question. Am I clear? Now let us see another important persons in the same generation. See, as I am saying you, mother-in-law and father-in-law belongs to your previous generation. Now we are discussing about who are the persons who actually stays in our generation. So sister-in-law is finished. Now let us observe who? Your brother-in-law. As I told you very clearly, sister-in-law is nothing but your spouse sister and as well as your brother's wife. It could be anyone. Again, you don't have to worry about whether the person is the elder one or the younger one. Spouse sister, both of them are going to be your answer as what? Sister-in-law. In the same way, when it comes to brother-in-law, I can consider it as what? Spouse brother and as well as your what? Exactly, your sister's husband is going to be your brother-in-law. Am I clear? Right. Again, two possibilities. This is where you are supposed to be very careful in examination. As soon as these keywords are appearing, you always go with the only spouse sister or only brother's wife. No, you have to keep both the information. Clearly, it could be either your spouse sister or your brother's wife. In the same way, your spouse brother or sister's husband. Right now, let us move forward to the next generation. And who are the next generation persons? Now let us observe. It is your daughter-in-law. Now tell me, whom do you call daughter-in-law? Whom do you call daughter-in-law? They are next generation persons, correct? your son's wife is going to be your daughter-in-law. Am I clear? Your son's wife is going to be called as what? Daughter-in-law. And last but not the least, it's your son-in-law. Now, whom do we call son-in-law? It is your daughter's husband. Your daughter's husband is going to be your what? Son-in-law. This is the way you are supposed to remember the relations. Now, these relations, whatever relations I am mentioning over here, it is actually your in-laws, persons related to you through system of marriage, and this is your spouse. Am I clear? After becoming an adult, the most important person in your life, the best companion in your life is your spouse. Now, how exactly this person is entering into your life and destroying your life? I mean, they are your best person, best companion in your life according to the subject. So please, these are all nothing but your what? Relations occurred through system of marriage. But when it comes to the previous information, then I have to say these relations are actually your own blood relations. Am I clear? Now let's observe the missing relations we have got here. As of now, we have seen our own blood relations and as well as the relations which occur to us through system of marriage. Now let us also observe what are the relations we have got here. They are nothing but your grandparents. Now you know it very well, grandparents are going to occur to us from our both the sides, from your mother side and as well as from your father side. But first of all, tell me, grandparents include both your grandmother and as well as grandfather. Am I correct? But as we discussed just now very clearly, these relations are going to happen to us from both the sides, from your mother side and as well as from your father side. Now, if I ask you, how is your grandmother? How is your aunt? How is your grandfather? How is your uncle? Then immediately you are not going to take it for granted that I am trying to ask you from your father side relation only. No, you cannot take it for granted. Then you are supposed to ask me a question, sir, whether you are talking about maternal or paternal. These two keywords you are going to understand over here. Now, maternal side relations are all going to be occur to us from our mother side, and paternal, it is obviously from your father side. Am I clear? Right. Now, M and M is always going to have that matching. In case you got any confusion in future also, whether maternal side is from your mother side or from your father side, immediately you can recall the shortcut M and M is going to match with each other. Now please understand one important information over here. Your examiner may not use these keywords. He simply going to give you a question, how is your grandfather or how is your grandmother? Then immediately you are supposed to apply both the possibilities to figure out what is your exact answer. Am I clear? Right. Now here comes the rule number 3. Please do remember the rule number 3. Rule number 1 was what? Very clearly, do not convert into your mother tongue. Rule number 2 is male and male, female and female cannot get married to each other. And rule number 3, here it is clearly going to say, do not apply yourself in the question. Do not try to imagine yourself in the question. Again, you might be having a doubt, sir, imagining myself in the question is going to be very easy for me. I can understand my question better. I can solve it very easily. No. That's also completely a false information, because we are never going to have a clear information about our speaker in the question, whether the speaker is male or female. Sometimes you may have that information, but most of the cases that information is always going to be skipped by your examiner. Then immediately you will try to place yourself and you will understand the question according to your own gender. That is why we are not allowed to place ourselves in the question, because obviously when I am a male, I will try to understand the relation according to that particular point of view only, and when the question is reading by a female, obviously she is also going to understand the question from her point of view only. That is why please understand, gender information is also very important for us over here. Gender information, there are only two genders, that is male and as well as female. Now the representation is also very important over here. How do you represent male and female? By writing M or F? No, we always use the mathematical symbols in order to represent what exactly the information of that particular person's gender. And please remember, if you got that clarity, if at all you are very certain regarding that person's gender, then only apply these symbols. And sometimes your examiner may use a keyword called my and as well as I. Those are universal keywords, you cannot define the gender, correct? That is why you better use this symbol. This symbol is actually going to give you a clear information, or you are giving yourself a hint in your exam that I do not have any clarity on the gender of that particular person in the question. You are making yourself very clear in the exam or while practicing yourself. This particular symbol is always going to resemble what? We do not have any clarity about our speaker's gender in the question. When you are very certain, when you are 100% confident what is the gender of the speaker, if it is male, use this one. If it is female, use this symbol. But please do remember here, no person in your question is not allowed to go without a symbol. Please do remember that information, correct? Right, now moving forward, that I have to tell you all the relations, whatever relations we have seen as of now. How do we solve all the three different models? By imagination? No. Imagination is certainly not going to work in the examination, and it is going to be a very lengthy process if at all you go with your imagination. That is why there is a tree procedure over here, or you can say it as a, by using a flowchart procedure, you can figure out your answers very easily. So whatever relations we have seen as of now, is actually categorized into four particular relations only. All the persons are going to fall under those four categories only, and believe me, how to represent these particular four relation, initially you are going to have the trouble because you are not aware of the basic information. That is why initially you might be facing a bit of problem, but as soon as you got the hold of this basic information, how do we approach to the question, immediately you are going to gain the clear access to the particular flowchart. Now what are the four categories and how do we represent? But believe me, I've already prepared you without your notice, without your conscious. I've already prepared you for this particular information only. And here comes the category number one, that is your parents category. Now tell me, your parents belongs to your generation or your previous generation? It is definitely your previous generation. Then we are going to use a aparo. Right, now the next information you need to understand, next category is your children category. Now just tell me, how do you represent children? By just telling me the information, your children belongs to your generation or your next generation? Definitely next generation. This is the way you are supposed to use the symbol. And the next category is your sibling category. Now tell me, your sibling belongs to definitely your generation, then use the side arrow. This is the way you always represent. And the most important category, the most dangerous person, the most powerful person on this planet is your spouse. Now whether you give it or not in your personal life, I don't mind, I don't care, but when it comes to the subject, it is better you always give them a equal to symbol. Equal to symbol always represents what? Your spouse. Again, we are not defining the gender. Now all the relations we have seen, your mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, whatever it is, okay, uncle, aunt, your cousins, all of them, your grandparents, your grandchildren, everybody is going to fall under these four categories only. They are never going to escape from these four categories. Okay, using this particular symbols may be a bit of confusing initially. I'm saying you very honestly, initially it is going to be a bit of confusing, but I'm not saying it as hard. When you have very strong basics, when you practice well, obviously they are very simple for you. Okay, now this is the way we are going to represent our given particular information, or these four categories are going to be there throughout our session. Am I clear? Right. Now what is the next information I want to teach you here is, and we understood the basics. Now we also understood three important rules. Am I correct? Now you should also be aware of the keywords. What are the keywords? You know, there are 6 important keywords: and, is, but, who, which, whose. Please remember, these are very important keywords you are always going to observe in the reasoning. Not in blood relation, in the entire topic of reasoning, in blood relation, seating arrangement, puzzles, sometimes in directions, you are going to see these particular keywords. Now, understanding these keywords are very important for you. Once you understood these keywords, then immediately you can start doing your questions. Now let me teach you how exactly these are going to give you a false information, or how they are going to manipulate you. They appear to be very simple, but believe me, they are not. They are going to take away your marks in your examination if at all you are not good with your particular keywords. Now let me give you a small example. Please try to understand that example thoroughly. Okay, now by using those particular 6 keywords, I am going to frame a question over here. Now for an example, if I say A is brother of B and is father of C, comma, who is daughter of D, how is A related to D, B related to D, and C related to D. Okay, now please remember, there's a small question given over here, but believe me, this question is going to give you a complete information regarding all the 6 keywords. Now observe here, A is brother of B. You got a very clear information that A became the brother of whom? B. When A became the brother, I can confirm the gender of A as male. Do you accept? Yes, because he became the brother. When A became the brother, I can confirm the gender of A as male without having any doubt. Now he became brother for whom? B. So both A and B are going to stay in the same generation. A and B are going to stay in the same generation. Then I will always use a single line. I don't have to place this arrow mark. You can just observe a simple line is always going to give us a clear information. They are going to stay in the same generation. But as of now, I do not have any idea regarding what is the gender of B. It could be either male or female. Let us move forward into the question and try to figure it out what is the gender. But please do remember, due to lack of information, due to lack of knowledge regarding those keywords, you may go wrong, or you may understood this question completely wrong. Now please observe, after this comma you got and is father of C. Please do remember, whenever you come across a keyword called and, is, but, after these 3 keywords, whatever information given by your examiner over here, it is not going to be reflected to the second person. It is actually giving you information regarding the first person. Please do remember, it is a continuation of sentence. You are not going to understand B is the father of C, so obviously B became male. No, never try to understand in that way. Am I clear? Now A became the father of C. That is what it is clearly saying. Now when A became the father of C, please understand, A's gender is already a male. Now he became the father. Earlier he was what? Brother of B. Now he became father for whom? C. Still you are having any confusion, whenever you see the keyword called and, is, but, try to figure it out who is the first person in the line and place that person over here and read your sentence. Now if I read my sentence, it becomes what? A is the father of C. When A became the father, okay, for whom? C. Now I do not have any information regarding B and C's gender. Now please observe this who, which and whose. Please do remember, whatever keyword it is observed over here, I wrote only who, but you should also understand along with who, which and whose, all those keywords are given in order to confuse you only. So that is why this is always reflecting to the adjacent person only. All those three keywords are reflecting to whom? Adjacent person only. It is better you remove those keywords. You don't have to read those keywords. You just remove those keywords and read your sentence. Then immediately you are going to have the clarity about that particular line. Now I will never read it as C, who is the daughter of D. No. If I remove that keyword, what is it going to be? C is daughter of D. Am I clear? Now C became what? Daughter. Can I confirm the gender of C as a female? Because C became what? Daughter. Now closely observe, C became daughter for A, and now C is also becoming daughter for whom? D. One particular person is becoming daughter for both the persons A and D. Then what is the relation in between A and D? Yes, definitely you need to understand their wife and husband. Do not say it as spouse. We are going to say it as spouse when the information is not known about a particular person. Yes, I know that very clearly. In the line, your examiner is never going to reveal what is the gender of D. But my rule number 2 states that male and male, female and female cannot get married to each other, and you already knew this. A is a male. When A got married to D, can I recall or can I say it for sure that D is a female? Yes. Even though my examiner is not giving any information regarding D's gender, we can confirm the gender of D by using the rule number 2. I told you it appeared to be very funny or silly, but that exact rule always helps us to find out the gender in the particular question, even it is missing in the line. Am I clear? Now, after finishing our entire question, this is the way you are supposed to form. Okay, A became the brother for whom? B. A became the father for whom? C. C also became a daughter of whom? D. Then immediately I understood A and D are wife and husband. Now after finishing our entire question also, is it possible for us to identify the gender of B? No. When you do not have any clarity about any person, do not leave it unattempted. Always use this symbol. That symbol is going to indicate we are not sure about the gender of B. Now solving is very easy for us. Once you practice, yes, you are going to understand. But please observe here, understanding the question is very important. How is A related to D? Always remember, the question says how is A related to D? Understand the question from your right side person point of view, not from the left side person point of view. Please make sure you always go from your right side, not from the left side. And the most important information I need to tell you here, if at all you are not understanding the question, instead of going from your right side, if at all you went with the left side, obviously you end up with the wrong answer. Okay, this is a two-way around relationship you are going to see in the blood relation. See, for an example, if I say the relation from the D's point of view is what? A here, let us see. D is going to say A as what? Always understand, attack it from the backwards. Okay, right now D is going to call A as what? It is definitely, answer is what? Husband. Am I correct? Answer is what? Husband is your answer. But imagine you misunderstood the question and you understood the question from A's point of view. A is going to address D as what? Wife. And that is going to be stay in the first option, so that you are going to miss your mark. So it's always two-way around. If you do not understand the question properly, how to approach the question is very important. Even though you have strong basics, even though you know all the 6 keywords, okay, but you do not know how exactly to approach the question, then it's all waste of time. So better understand the question properly over here. Now, how is A related to C? I want to tell how is A related to C. Now tell me, A to C or C to A? I'm just going to say this for each and every question. You are supposed to memorize it as well, okay? A to C or C to A? It is definitely from the, how is A related to D is finished. It is next B related to D. Let's see, B to D or D to B? Please tell me, B to D or D to B? Yes, it is always from the D's point of view. D is going to call B as what? Do we have any clarity on the B's gender? B's gender is unknown for us. It could be either male or female. That is why our answer becomes what? Sister-in-law or brother-in-law. I mean, either sister-in-law or brother-in-law becomes your answer, because D's husband is A. If at all imagine B is a female, answer becomes sister-in-law. If B is a male, your answer becomes what? Brother-in-law. But do we have any clarity on B's gender? No. But when you go from the B's point of view, your answer is what? Definitely sister-in-law. Even though you do not have any clarity about B's gender, this person B is going to call D as what? Your brother's wife is definitely your answer is what? Sister-in-law. Am I clear? Now the last one. How is C related to D? Now tell me, from whose point of view you are going to understand this question? C to D or D to C? It is definitely from the D's point of view. D is going to call C as what? Now your answer becomes what? Daughter. Am I clear? Yes. But imagine again you misunderstood the question and you went from the left side person's point of view, that C to D, what you are going to call from C to D, your answer becomes what? Mother. So I'm saying you very clearly, it is a two-way around relationship, and if you misunderstood the question, that option is going to be there in the first option only. In case you do not see that option after solving your question, then you will recall, yes, I have done some mistake. Instead of going from my right side, I went from my left side. Then you are going to change your answer. But tell me, if at all the wrong answer stays in the option number 1, obviously you are going to choose the wrong one. So please better make sure you understand the question thoroughly, that you are supposed to come from your right side person's point of view. Now, as I'm saying, these are the 3 important keywords: and, is, but, and another 3 important keywords: who, which, whose. And, is, but always refers to the first person in the question. Who, which, whose refers to the adjacent person in the question. Am I clear? Now, these are the basics of your blood relations. There are some other basics I am going to teach you while teaching you the questions. Okay, don't worry. As of now, we understood the basics. The other basics we are going to carry with the questions. Questions here. Okay, we understood what are the basic knowledge of blood relations. We are going to solve the model number 1, that is your individual and paragraph questions. Model number 2 is talking about your photographs questions, which are going to be a bit confusing initially, but when it comes to those questions, I am going to teach you the shortcut, what exactly you are supposed to observe in the given question. And the model number 3 is going to talk about the coded relations. Okay, he is going to give you some symbols and asking you to convert into the blood relation. You don't have to worry about them. So let us focus on the particular model number 1, that is individual questions, and as well as you are going to see some paragraph questions. Now let's observe the first one. What is it saying? How is my grandmother's only child? First of all, speaker is using a keyword called my. As I told you, my is a universal keyword. By observing this keyword, it is impossible for you to identify the gender of the speaker. Do not place yourself in the question and do not imagine your answers. That's not going to work out in your examination. Okay, my should be always represented by using this particular way. It could be either male or female. You are giving yourself a hint in your examination that you do not have any clarity regarding the speaker's gender. My grandmother, correct? Is it mentioned maternal or paternal? Again, you are going to see two possibilities. Okay, please observe here. My grandmother's only child. Again, please remember, my grandmother. I am going with the one possibility, that is from the maternal side. Okay, please do understand here. My grandmother's only child is going to be what? My mother only. Correct? My grandmother. I am going with the possibility case number 1. It is based on what? Possibility case number 1 from the maternal side. And the paternal side, you can go in this way. My grandmother is going to come from your father's side as well. Correct? Right, this is the way I am going to represent. This is case number 1 and this is case number 2. We are trying to solve both of them at a time simultaneously. Correct? My grandmother's only child. Only child is drawing back to speaker's mother. Whereas in the case number 1, when it comes to the case number 2, grandmother's only child is again child. You cannot define the gender of a child. Please understand, children's doctor, children's hospital, children's day, it is for both boy and as well as girl. You cannot say child means definitely male or definitely female. Again, that is very impossible. But you can say for sure there are no other person. Only one person is going to be there. Child is a singular, children is a plural. Please do remember this information very carefully, because I am going to use the same information for the further questions. So please remember, you can understand when it mentions child is, there are no other children, only one person is going to be there. But when it says children, you may have multiple persons. Now here, my grandmother's only child is again drawing back to speaker's mother over here. Okay, only child's husband's mother related to me. Now in the case number 1, only child is a female. Now female can have a husband. Okay, female can have a husband. But when it comes to the case number 2, my grandmother's only child, is it possible to have a husband? No, because we already got a male over here. Male and male, female and female cannot get married to each other. That is why possibility case number 2 is eliminated, because it is mentioned very clearly that grandmother's only child could be either male or female, but the child is supposed to have a husband. When the child is supposed to have a husband, the child has to be a definitely female. If you understand it as a male, that possibility is never going to be correct. So that is why case number 1 is correct, case number 2 is wrong. So I am just going to clear it. Let us see. My grandmother's only child's husband, it is definitely subject's father, okay, or speaker's father. Husband's mother is what? Now what is this fellow is going to call to this lady? Obviously your father's mother is your grandmother. That is option number 2 is your answer. What is your answer? Option number 2 is your answer. Am I clear? Right. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next question. What is the next question saying? How is Ramu's mother-in-law's only daughter's son related to Ramu? Please observe here. Ramu's, okay. Now let me write down Ramu. Ramu is a male. Very good. Ramu's mother-in-law. Whom do you call mother-in-law? Your spouse mother, correct? Ramu definitely got married to a girl. We do not know who is she, but her mother is going to be mother-in-law of Ramu. Am I clear? Ramu's mother-in-law's only daughter is again coming back to the Ramu's wife only. Please do remember, Ramu's mother-in-law, any person is related to you through system of marriage is going to be called as what? In-law. Now mother-in-law is definitely your spouse mother, whereas here Ramu is a male got married to a person, that person is definitely a female, and her mother is going to be mother-in-law of Ramu. Now this mother-in-law's only daughter it is mentioning, it is definitely coming back to Ramu's wife only. It is never mentioned child. What does that mean? Please remember, it is not possible to have 2 daughters or 3 daughters to that particular person, but when it comes to the son, there is always a possibility. You have to keep that in your mind. See, it is mentioning Ramu's mother-in-law is having only 1 daughter. It is not possible to have 2-3 daughters, but it is always a possibility to have a son, which is not going to be helpful in this particular given question. Okay, now, but always keep that information in your empty space. Always you need to understand that information as well. Right now, daughter's son related to Ramu, so obviously the son of Ramu's wife, please, obviously answer is what? Son. Next question, my son's mother's daughter related to me. How is my sons? Please observe here, my son's mother could be myself, because you do not have any information regarding the speaker's gender, so we are going to see 2 possibilities. You know how? Let's see here. Imagine my is a female over here, my son's mother, it could be myself, or if I imagine speaker as a male, my son's mother is my wife. Am I correct? Because lack of information regarding the speaker's gender, we are going to use both the possibilities. My son's mother could be myself. Okay, myself means obviously here in the question talking about the speaker itself, or if a speaker is a male, his wife is going to be son's mother. 2 possibilities, right? Let us observe here. My son's mother's daughter. Mother's daughter is nothing but, this is the way you are going to represent that. Mother's daughter is over here, that person's sister, and here again the same information is conveying in both the cases. My daughter, they are talking about daughter itself. So my son's mother's daughter is obviously daughter of the speaker related to me. Then your answer becomes what? Daughter. That is option number 3. Please remember, my son's mother could be either male or female over here. So once I understood the speaker is a female, this is the way you are going to represent. If you understood the speaker is a male, this is the way you are going to understand. Please understand, my wife's daughter is also my daughter. In the same way, if you understand the information over here regarding the female version, it is again your answer becomes what? Daughter. Right now, let us observe the next question. Next question is clearly saying, how is my father's? See, my is missing over here. You try to understand the speaker's information. Sometimes even though it is not available, you just consider it as a my, because no name is mentioned over there. Then easily I can understand my father's. Please observe here, my father's brother is definitely my uncle. I cannot confirm the gender of a speaker, but I can say my father's brother is definitely my uncle. Which uncle? Paternal uncle. Okay, my father's brother is having only sibling which is coming back to speaker's father only. Please remember, it is again coming back to what? Speaker's father only. Only sibling's mother. Only sibling is, again, sibling could be either male or female. I already told you in the basics, sibling could be either male or female, but it is using a keyword called only. This is also very important keyword in the quantitative aptitude and as well as in the reasoning. Only eliminates the possibility and gives you the clarity. Due to lack of this keyword, you are going to have a lot of possibilities in future questions. Okay, so please remember, only mentions this fellow is having only sibling, which is drawing back to speaker's father. You cannot say that this person might be having another brother or another sister. No, because only sibling, there should be only one person. Am I clear? Right, next. Only sibling's mother is also mother of this fellow. Okay, she is also mother of this and this person. Now, related to me, obviously our speaker is going to call this lady as what? Grandmother. That is option number 2 is your answer. Option number 2 is your answer. Am I clear? Right. Let's move on to the next question. A is the father of B. C is the son of D. E is the brother of C, while D is the sister of B. How is B related to E? Now this is a small paragraph question. Now based on the paragraph also you are going to see some questions. Now they are very simple. Now A became the father of whom? B. A became the father of whom? I know the gender of A because A became the father of B, but I don't know what is the gender of B as of now. Let's move on. C is the son of D. I cannot represent this information by applying it to A or B, but I'll try to remember this information. E is the brother of C, while D is the sister of B. Now you got this information. D is the sister of. You can confirm the gender of D. Again, you cannot confirm the gender of B. Now let us move back to the question. C is the son of D. C became the son. So can I confirm the gender of C as a male? C became the son of whom? D over here. Next one. E is the brother of C. Please observe here. E became the brother. So I can confirm the gender of E as what? Male. And I am also going to say both C and D are going to stay in the same generation. Now observe here carefully. A became the father of B. You cannot confirm the gender of B. Then immediately it is mentioning over here in the last line, D is the sister of B. When D became the sister, I understood D's gender is a female, but I do not know what is the gender of B. Now D got a son. It is clearly mentioned C is the son of D. When C became the son, C's gender is going to be what? Male. And E is the brother of C. Then they are going to stay in the same generation. It is also a male. E is also a male. Now after finishing the entire question, is it possible for you to understand the gender of B? No, it is unknown. But you cannot leave it empty. Please make sure you always apply this symbol. Whatever chances for male, equal chances for female as well. That is the way you are giving yourself a hint in your exam. Now, how is B related to E? One important information you always should consider. You should always understand this information from your left side person's point of view or right side person point of view. It is right side person's point of view. Am I correct? B to E or E to B? It is always from the E's point of view. Now please observe here, E is going to call B as what? You do not have any gender confirmation regarding B. So your mother's brother is your uncle, your mother's sister is your aunt. So answer becomes what? 4. You know why? Either uncle or aunt. That is option either 1 or 2. That is why your answer is option number 4. Am I clear? Correct. Let us move on to the next question. My mother's sister. Please observe, again you don't have any clarity on the speaker's gender. My mother's sister's son's father's mother-in-law related to me as. Yes, it's going to be a bit of complicated, confusing in the initial stages, but once you have very good basics, you are going to have no problem at all. So I'm just going to represent in this way. My mother's sisters. My mother's sister is definitely my aunt. Which aunt? Maternal aunt. My mother's sister. Okay, my mother's sister's son is definitely my cousin. Correct? My mother's sister's son is my cousin. Son's father is nothing but my uncle. My mother's sister is my aunt. My aunt's husband is definitely my uncle. Instead of saying you my auntie's husband or my mother's sister's husband, it is trying to give you a bit of complication, or it is trying to give you a bit of hard time. So it says my mother's sister's son's father, it is definitely your uncle only. Okay, so my mother's sister's father's mother-in-law related to me. Now this person should have a mother-in-law. Mother-in-law is definitely, here comes, your spouse mother is your mother-in-law. Am I correct? Now this male person should have a mother-in-law, and this male person's mother-in-law is going to come over here, mother of these two sisters. Correct? Now our speaker is going to call this lady as what? Grandmother. That is in option number 2. Am I correct? Your answer becomes what? Option number 2. Now let's move on to the next question, please. How is David's father's only daughter-in-law's son's wife related to David? Yes, again it is observed, a very complicated, but don't worry. Let's observe here. David, I'm just going to write David. Can I confirm the gender of David as male? Yes. David's father's only daughter-in-law. Now observe, David is going to have how many daughter-in-laws? 2-3 daughter-in-laws. Is it possible? No. Why? It is mentioning only daughter-in-law. Only is the keyword which gives you a very good clarity how many persons are going to be there. It is going to eliminate the possibilities. Only daughter-in-law. It is nothing but David's father is having only one son. It is nothing but David only, because please understand here, he has got only daughter-in-law. Obviously, when David is the son and this person is having only one daughter-in-law, then they are talking about David's wife. Am I clear? Right, next. David's father's only daughter-in-law's son's wife. Now observe, son's wife. Son got married, David's son got married, son's wife related to David. Now David is going to call this lady as what? Your son's wife is definitely your daughter-in-law. Am I clear? So that is again in option number 2. So it means this is all unwanted information, but you cannot help yourself. Your examiner decides the questions. So please understand, David's father is having only one daughter-in-law. It is nothing but David's wife, and David's wife got a son, or I can say David got a son, and that son got married to a lady. Now this lady is going to be as what to David? Then your answer becomes what? Daughter-in-law. Am I clear? Right. Next one, let us see. How is Ravi's mother's father's son related to Ravi's father? Let's see here. Ravi. Let's observe the gender of Ravi as a male. Ravi's mother's father. Mother's father is nothing but definitely Ravi's grandfather. Ravi's mother's father's son. Father's son is definitely going to be Ravi's uncle. Please observe here, I am saying it one more time. Ravi's mother's father is Ravi's grandfather. Which grandfather? Maternal grandfather. And that maternal grandfather is having a son, so it is nothing but Ravi's maternal uncle. They are talking about whom? Ravi's maternal uncle. Okay. Ravi's mother's father's son related to Ravi's father. Now Ravi's father is over here. Ravi's father is going to call Ravi's uncle as what? Obviously brother-in-law. Your spouse brother becomes what? Brother-in-law. That is option number 3. Your spouse brother becomes what? Brother-in-law. I hope I'm clear, right? Let's see the next one. A is B's father. Okay. B is C's daughter. E is D's only sibling. C is D's only daughter. How is B related to E's niece? So let's see here. This is a bit of complicated, I think so. Let's see here. A is B's father. So now we got B's father as whom? A. But you do not know what is the gender of B. You know the gender of A, that is male. A is B's father. B is C's daughter. B became the daughter for whom? C. B is C's daughter. So A and C definitely married to each other. They are wife and husband. Even though C's gender is not given over here, can I confirm the gender of C as a female? Because A is a male. B is either a son or a daughter of A. Now it is clearly mentioning B is C's daughter. So obviously C and A must have got married to each other. Now you can confirm the gender of B as a female, correct? Because daughter. E is D's only sibling. Okay, I do not know where to place that information. C is D's only daughter. It is mentioning C became the only daughter of whom? D. So let me give you the clarity about this question. I mean, I'll just rewrite this question. So let us write it down from here. A became the father for whom? B. And now A and C got married to each other. So C is a female. C got a daughter and the daughter is B. So I can confirm the gender of B as a female. Now it is mentioning E is D's only sibling, but you do not know what is the gender and I do not know where to place E and D. Now C is D's only daughter. D is going to be a parent of C. Please observe, D became the parent of C. Now it is mentioning, let us go back to the previous information. E is D's only sibling. D's only sibling. It means you cannot confirm the gender of both E and as well as D. It is not possible for you to confirm the gender of D because it is mentioning C became the daughter of D. But it is never mentioned whether D is a mother or father of C. As well as D got a only sibling, that is E. It means it could be either male or female, correct? Now what is my question saying? How is B related to E's niece? Who is the niece of E? It is C. Who is the niece of E? C. The question clearly saying that how is B related to C? Instead of giving you in this way, he gave you a twisted question. E's niece is going to be whom? C. So now tell me, after framing the question or after writing the question, whether you are going to understand the question from your left side person's point of view or right side person point of view. Definitely from your right side person's point of view. Now C is going to call B as what? C is going to call B as what? Daughter is your answer. That is option number 3. Move on to the second model, that is your pointing to a photograph model, that is model number 2. As of now, we have seen the questions based on the individual and as well as paragraph questions, which are not going to be complicated, which are not going to be very hard. They are going to be very simple. But when it comes to this particular part, model number 2, they are going to be a bit of complicated. Okay, but we are going to understand the basic information or a shortcut. You don't have to worry about the question. Listen to the shortcut. What is it we got over here? See, please remember, when it comes to the photographs questions, you're always going to have 2 persons maximum. It is always going to be based on whom? It's always based on the speaker only. Speaker is always available 100% in this particular questions, and you are also going to see the listeners in this particular questions as well. Sometimes they may be or they may not be available. Now for an example, if I want to frame Mr. A told to Mr. B. Now tell me, who is the speaker and who is the listener over here? A is the speaker and B is the listener. Am I clear? So A is a speaker and B is the listener. You should always understand, you should always worry, or you are supposed to identify who is the speaker and who is the listener in the given question. And please remember, speaker is always going to use a keyword in order to address themselves. What is a keyword called? My. And in order to address the listener, they are always going to use a keyword called what? Your. Okay, they are going to always use a keyword called what? Your. Okay, now sir, why are you trying to teach me this information? How exactly this is helpful to me? Very simple. Instead of reading that question in the same format by using the same keywords my and your, replace these keywords with the name of the speaker and as well as listener. Do not read the question in the same format. You are always supposed to read the question by using the name of the speaker and name of the listener. And I am clearly mentioning you one more time, 100% in all the questions you are going to see a speaker. But sometimes a listener may appear, may not appear in the given question. Okay, please do remember that information. Now let us move forward and find out the answer for the first one. And there is one more information you need to observe here. If you want to solve these questions in a very fast method, it is better you understand the question from the backward also. You cannot just fight the question from your left side. It is impossible for you to identify your answer in a fraction of seconds in examinations. See, I'm not going to teach you in a fraction of seconds how can you solve. No, that is practically not possible in examination. In examination, yes, when you have a very good practice, then it is possible for you to go very speed and you can solve it. But please do remember, by just observing the questions without using anything, it's not possible in examination. Maybe while doing practice, yes, it is definitely possible. Your brain works much more faster when you are sitting idle or when you are doing some practice. But when it comes to the examination point of view, obviously your pen has to work and your brain has to stay in the same format. So please always understand in that way. Pointing to a man on a stage, Rashi said. Now who is the speaker? Tell me. Rashi is the speaker. Correct. He is the brother of the daughter of the wife of my husband. Now is it possible for you to understand these questions as soon as you read it? No. Now my is a keyword which is observed over here. You do not see the your keyword. Correct. My should be replaced by whose name? Rashi. Why? Because Rashi is the speaker in this question. So we will try to do these questions from your right side point of view. I mean, you have to come back from the right side. It improves a lot of confidence. It boosts a lot of confidence in you, and you can solve your questions very fast if you understand that question properly, you can actually solve them very easily. So I'll try to teach you those questions. Okay, now he is the brother of the daughter of the wife of my husband. My husband is nothing but, can I say it as Rashi's husband? Yes, I will say Rashi is a female and Rashi's husband. Okay, let us go from this one. Rashi's husband's wife. Rashi's husband's wife is again coming back to Rashi. And don't tell me that Rashi's husband is having 2 wives, 3 wives. No, it's not possible in this subject. Okay, she is talking about herself only. So when you do the questions from your right side, you got an advantage of understanding very easily, and you can improve your skill. Initially, I'm saying it very honestly, I don't have to bluff you that you are going to receive your answers, that you are going to get your answer just in a fraction of seconds. No, I'm never going to bluff to you. Yes, it takes a bit of time initially. See, you can observe me, I'm not solving these questions in a fraction of seconds. It takes time, but while explaining, it is taking me so much time. But if you ask me to work on it, I can just do it very fast. Okay, so please, if you are having a very good practice and when you are good with your basics, then you can solve any typical questions, and make sure you have the advantage when you understand the question from the backwards. That is also very important. Most of you people always try to go from the left side, but always try to understand from the backwards, which improves a lot. Let's see here, my husband. Then who is the speaker? Rashi. Rashi's husband's wife is definitely Rashi. Now let us go from here and observe the keyword. What is it saying? Daughter. So daughter of Rashi, they are talking about daughter of Rashi. And daughter's brother, when you go from the right side, my husband's wife is Rashi only. Rashi's husband's wife is Rashi. Rashi's daughter's brother, just observe it, Rashi's daughter's brother is what to Rashi? That is what is this asking. How is the man on the stage related to Rashi? So Rashi is going to call this person on the stage as what? Son. That is option number 1. Very simple. Obviously for me it is very simple, but when you are listening to the first time, it is actually going to be a bit of confusing. But once we move forward and observe the further questions, this is going to be very clear for you. Okay, now let us move forward to the next question. Rashi's husband's wife is Rashi only, and Rashi's daughter's brother is the person on the stage, and Rashi is going to call that person on the stage as what? Son, which is in option number 1. Right, now let us observe the next question. A woman introduces a man as the son of the brother of her mother. See, who is the speaker? A woman is a speaker over here, and she is introducing a man as what? Son of the brother of her mother. Her mother means that woman's mother. Woman is got a mother. This is our speaker, woman. Okay, woman's mother. Now this her is going to be replaced by woman. Woman's mother's brother. Woman's mother's brother. It is nothing but woman's paternal uncle or maternal uncle. It is maternal uncle. Okay, woman's mother's brother's son. Now how is this woman is going to call this person as what? Very simple strategy. Answer is your son or daughter of your uncle or aunt is going to be cousin. That is your answer. See, I started from her mother. Her mother is nothing but woman's mother's brother's son. She is introducing son of the brother of her mother is rewritten in this format. Okay, let's move on to the next question, please. Introducing a man, a woman said. Now who is the speaker here? woman. And who is a listener? A man is a listener. Woman said, he is the only son of my mother's mother. Please observe here, my means again here a speaker. This is our speaker, woman. Speaker's mother's mother, woman, only son of my mother's mother. My mother's mother is definitely my grandmother. My grandmother is having only one son. My grandmother is having only one son. Then who is that person? That person is my uncle. Now how is the woman related to that man? Again, your examiner played a trick to you. Now you are not going to understand the questions from the speaker's point of view, but whereas you need to understand the question in the reverse order. Now this man is going to call our speaker as what? Your sister's daughter or your brother's daughter. Answer is always your niece. That is option number 4 is your answer. Am I clear? Right, please. My mother's mother is having a son, only son. And that son is definitely going to be my uncle. Now, uncle is not available in the option, because the question is asking in the reverse order what exactly this speaker is going to be called by this person. Obviously, he is going to call her as what? So now let's observe here. Let's looking at a portrait of man, Harsh said, so Harsh is the speaker. His mother is the wife of my father's son. Brothers and sisters I have none. Now please understand, brothers and sisters I have none is actually said by Harsh. So Harsh has got no siblings at all. Harsh is the only child of their parent. Now his mother is the wife of, my should be replaced by the name of Harsh. Harsh father's son. Please observe here, Harsh father's son is definitely Harsh over here. You know why? Because Harsh has got no siblings at all. It is clearly given in the line 3. So brothers and sisters I have none. So it is mentioning Harsh has got no siblings. So Harsh father's son is definitely Harsh. And please observe, his mother is the wife of, this entire information, my father's son, is going to be changed into Harsh only. His mother is the wife of Harsh. So Harsh wife is over here. So his mother means obviously it is the son of Harsh only, because his is mentioned. How can you confirm here gender as a male? Because the line itself started with his mother. So now this person's mother is wife of Harsh. It is clearly mentioned in this way in a indirect information. So please remember, my father's son, this entire information I have removed it and replaced with the name of Harsh. So clearly his mother is wife of Harsh. So Harsh is actually talking about his son. Now the question is also saying you the same thing. At whose portrait was Harsh looking? It is his son. Option number 1 is your answer. Am I clear? Now let us move forward to the next question here. Now let's see here. Pointing to a man in photograph, Asha said, now who is the speaker in this question? Asha is the speaker. His mother's only daughter is my mother. Again, my mother should be replaced by the name of Asha. Asha's mother's daughter, that is the way I am going to understand the information from the backside. My mother should be replaced by the Asha. Okay, Asha's mother. His mother's only daughter is Asha's mother. Okay, his means what? I'm just going to solve it from your left side as well. His mother only daughter. His mother's, this is a listener or you can say some other person. His mother's only daughter is Asha's mother. So Asha is going to come over here. Asha's mother is the only daughter of that. His is nothing but some person over here. We cannot place the name of that person, so please, his mother's only daughter is actually Asha's mother. This is the way you are supposed to represent. How is Asha related to that man? In what way Asha is related to this particular person? Definitely niece. That is option number 4. You may have a doubt, sir, why did you go from the left side? Why did you go from the right side? Please do remember, if the question is much more complicated, if at all it is in a lengthy way, then I'll try to go from the right side. If at all it is in the easiest way, then I'll go from the left side. Now you can also do this question from your backwards also, but it is going to be a bit of confusing. So please, you need to be aware of understanding the question from both the ways. See, then only you will understand what is the level of subject you have got, what is the level of standard of subject you have got. So understand the question whatever format we have got, but try to do your question where exactly you can solve it very easily and very fast. Okay, so please let us move on to the next question here. Introducing a man, a woman said. Okay, now introducing a man, a woman said. Woman is the speaker. His wife is the only daughter of my father. Okay, please understand, his wife. I'm just trying to go with the sentence here. His is nothing but a person over here. His wife. Introducing a man. So this is definitely a listener. I'm trying to introducing a person. Okay. His wife, only daughter of my father. My father's only daughter is definitely myself, the woman, because the speaker is a woman. So here is our speaker. My father's only daughter is the speaker itself. You cannot place any other person. Please do remember this information. Read it carefully. His wife is the only daughter of my father. My father, just remove it and replace with the name called woman. His wife is the only daughter of woman's father. So woman's father has got only one daughter, that is our speaker only. Correct? And speaker's husband, she is actually trying to introduce over here. Now, how is the man related to that woman? Now this man is related to that woman as what? Husband. That is option number 4. Please do understand here very clearly. If at all you have any other doubt, I'm just going to explain it one more time, because you may go wrong with this information. His wife, this person is the only daughter now. Only daughter of whom? Speaker's father. Speaker's father is having only one daughter and the daughter is over here. So obviously this is our speaker. Speaker's father is having only one daughter and speaker is trying to introduce a man, and this is the man, okay, over here as your listener, and this is the person as your speaker. Speaker's father is having only one daughter. Clear? Now let us discuss the last model of this topic, that is coded relations. Here in examinations, this information is provided to you. You will see these questions as individual. Even though he is going to give you some symbols, he may give you some individuals, or a bulk questions also sometimes he may give you, or your examiner may give you. Please do remember, all the symbols, whatever symbols by your examiner, whatever symbols used by your examiner, it is actually a random symbol. I'm not going to say only these symbols are going to be present, and this is very important for you in examination point of view. Please do remember that point. Okay, now read the information Clearly, use the relationship given below and answer the following question. Now, whatever symbol you have got over here, plus means what here? A is the husband of B. Please understand, A became the husband. So, it means what? By default, B becomes what? Wife. So, please, A is the wife of B. Minus means what? A became the wife. So B automatically becomes what? Husband. But when it comes to greater than symbol, observe, A is the brother. Now you know the information or the gender of A, but you do not know the gender of B here. That is what you need to observe here very carefully. Clear? Right now, arrow marks are giving you the meaning A is the father, or the previous less than symbol sister, or down arrow mother. So it means all the left side information is known, or left side person's gender is known, except in the first two cases. When a person is husband, automatically the other person becomes what? Wife. So please remember, understand this information carefully and apply the given question below over here. Now let's observe here, C union D. Union is indicating what here? A is the son. Try to take the information from the given paragraph, or the coded relation is giving you the information as what? Son. Don't worry whether it is A or B, because the same alphabets are not going to come in your examination. So the son is what? A is the son of B. So can I say C is the son of D? C became the son. So you can confirm the gender of C, but you cannot confirm the gender of D over here. Right, next one. C union D. Union is indicating what here? Son. So C is definitely the son, but you cannot define the gender of D. D minus E. Minus is indicating what here? Wife. So D became the wife. Wife means female. She became the wife of whom? E. Without going into the further information or any clarity is not required, you can say the gender of E as male. Next one, E greater than F. Greater than is indicating what here? Brother. Brother means, as I told you, left side person is known, not the right side person is known. Okay. Now, E became the brother of whom? F. You already knew the gender of E, but I don't know the gender of F. F intersection G. Okay. Now, this intersection is giving you the what? F is the daughter of G. When F became daughter, can I confirm the gender of F as female? And they are both, E and F are both children of G. But it is not possible for us to identify the gender of G. So this is the way I am going to place them. Okay. So if I place them in that way, then you can understand it better. Okay. Now, according to the given solution, I mean after understanding the solution, can you tell me which one is the correct option? G is the grandfather of C. How can you be so sure it is grandfather? Who knows, it could be a grandmother as well. So that is why first option is wrong. So first option is wrong. Let's go with the second one. C is the grandson of G. Definitely grandson of G. So second one is correct. I don't have to worry about third and fourth option. If at all you still want to check it out, yes, you can do it in examination. A lot of time pass and time waste as well. Okay, so answer is 2. I don't have to worry about the 3 and 4. I'll just move forward. Let's see here. Same symbols, but the question is different. Now, if H plus I, plus is indicating what relation here? Husband. So when H became the husband, definitely male. H became husband for whom? I. So I is a female. Okay. Next, I down arrow J. Down arrow is indicating what here? Mother. I became the mother of J. I became the mother of J, but you cannot confirm the gender of J here. J less than K. Less than is indicating what here? Sister. So now I can say J's gender is female. Okay. Now J became the sister of K. K minus L. Minus is nothing but over here a female again over here, because minus is indicating what relation? Wife. So K became the wife of L. But extreme right hand side person's gender is unknown for us in the other cases, but when it comes to this one, L's gender is definitely going to be male. Correct? Then H is dash of L. So please, H to L or L to H. L to H is what you need to observe here. H became dash of L. So from the L's point of view, you need to observe here, your spouse father is father-in-law. That is option number 3 over here. That is option number 3. Now let's see the next question, please. Right, I've got 5 questions. Okay, if M plus N, plus is indicating what here? What relation? Husband. So M is the husband, so male of whom? N. So N is definitely a female. Rule number 2 is helping again. N intersection P, so N is the daughter of P. Okay, but I don't know what is the gender of P. Let's wait it. P is wife of Q, because minus symbol is indicating, minus symbol is giving you the wife relation. So can I confirm the gender of P as a female? P became wife of whom? Q. So Q is definitely a male over here. Next, Q is the father of R. Q already became father of N. Now Q is also becoming father of R now. So it means both N and R are going to be sibling. Next, R less than S. Less than S is indicating what? R is the sister of, less than is indicating the relation called sister. Sister of whom? Yes. But it is impossible for us to identify the gender of S. You cannot identify the gender. Extreme right hand side person's gender is always not going to be clear for us. Not always. In the 2 cases you can say it. Wife and husband case you can clear it. Now, which of the following is true? M is the brother-in-law of S. Okay. So now please observe here whether M is the brother-in-law of S. Definitely correct, because S, R, N are going to be siblings. And don't tell me, sir, we do not have any information regarding S gender. Yes. Imagine S as a male. Your sister's husband is brother-in-law. Imagine S as female. Again, your sister's husband is what? Brother-in-law. So M is the brother-in-law of S. Yes, I can go with my option number 1. I don't have to worry about the rest of the options. Okay, now let's see here. Let's go with the next question. What is it saying? T up arrow W. Up arrow is indicating what? Father. So T is the father of W. W's father is T. So I'll take the gender of T as male, but I cannot confirm the gender of W. W down arrow X. W is the mother of X. So W became a female mother of whom? X. You cannot confirm the gender of X. X greater than Y. Greater than is indicating what relation? Brother. So X is a male over here. X became brother of whom? Y. Next, Y plus Z. Plus is nothing but again husband relation is occurring. So male. Now earlier we have discussed these are the cases where you can define the gender of the extreme right hand side person. So Z is a female even though it is not given. Now let us observe the options. Z is the granddaughter of W. Whether Z is the granddaughter of W? No, daughter-in-law of W. Okay, first one is gone. Z is daughter-in-law of W. Yes, W's son is Y. Y's wife is Z. So Z is the daughter-in-law of W. So my answer is option number 2. Clear? Let's move on to the next one. Next question, please. Right. Let's see here. What is it saying? A less than B. What do you mean by less than here? Sister. So A is the sister of B. Next, B plus C. Plus is indicating what? Husband. So B became husband for whom? C. Now C automatically becomes a female. Again, rule number 2 is helping us. C down arrow D. Down arrow means what? C became the mother of D. But it is again not possible for us to understand the gender of D. Correct? I'm just going with this particular symbol. It could be either male or female. Right now, let us go through the options. A is the maternal uncle of D. Whether A is the maternal uncle? No, actually paternal uncle. So first option is wrong. A is the paternal uncle of D. Yes, from D's point of view, if you observe A here, whether it is uncle? No, it is not uncle. Even though it is paternal, it is not uncle. It is aunt. Okay, clear? Right. Okay, I think you're all attentive. Earlier I told mistake, that was intentionally I told. I hope you caught my point. Right now, let us observe the fourth option. A is the paternal aunt of D. Yes, that is my answer. Paternal aunt. Okay, so right, let's see the next questions. Again, we have a different set of questions here. Now I've got questions. Symbols are not given over here properly. I've got symbols over here. I hope you can see that symbol. Now let me draw it for you so that it's going to be very clear. Circle plus is brother. Circle minus is sister. Circle minus was father, and now circle into is actually sister. Just a circle is mother, and circle dot is son. Circle a side arrow or a slash, you can say it as daughter. Okay, so let me write down. This is brother, this is father, this is sister. If it is visible, then it is okay. If it is not visible, then I am writing it for your convenience. Okay, okay, now let's go with this one. What does y plus z? Plus is nothing but what here? Brother. So y is the brother of z. Z slash is nothing but daughter of q. So Z became female and they both became children of whom here? Q here. But you do not know what is the gender of Q. So apply this symbol. Next one. Y is the son of Q. What is the first option? Y is the son of Q. Yes, that is definitely correct. But you cannot just mark your answer as 1, because in the fourth option we have got saying it as 1 and 3. Let's go with the 3 as well. Z is the sister of Y. Yes, that is also true. So answer is option number 4. Answer is what? Option number 4. Correct? Now let's move on to the next question. What is the next question saying? P circle Q. Circle is nothing but P is the mother of Q. When P became the mother, I can confirm the gender of P as female. Next, Q minus. Minus is indicating Q is the father of K, but you cannot say the gender of K. Now let's go with the options. Let's go with the first one. P is the grandfather of K. No, K's grandmother is P. So first is gone. P is the grandmother of K. Yes, definitely correct. But I cannot take that option because observe the fourth option. 2 and 3 is there. K is the grandson of P. Whether is it possible to say it is definitely grandson? It could be granddaughter as well. So my answer is option number 2. Am I clear? Answer is option number 2. Now let's move on to the next question, please. See, I'm trying to rub over here because if I go to the next page, I have to write it down again, which is definitely a time waste for you and for me as well. Right, which of the following means y is the grandfather of x? Y became the grandfather of x. So let us go from the last point. None of this is also given. You have to be very careful. Which of the following means y should become the grandfather of x? So how do you solve these questions? Please observe here, when you are supposed to solve these questions in examination, give the least priority because it takes a lot of time in your exam. Always gives the least priority. If at all you do not have time or you have time left, you can go and solve the other questions. Do not try to go with these questions because they are definitely going to waste your time. It is better you leave the question initially and gain some time after solving the other questions, and then you can come back and attack the question. And also always attack the question from your last point, I mean the last option, it is best. So let us go with the option number 3. Y minus is what? Y is the father. Y is the father of whom here? K. Okay. Next, K is the mother of x. K is the mother of x. Now tell me whether y is the grandfather of x. Definitely. So my answer is option number 3. These questions, if at all you got 5 options, 4 options, you better always go from the backwards. It is waste of time going from the front. Only in few cases, if at all your day is very bad, then obviously you have to go from the front side, and you may receive your answer as 1 in very least cases, but maximum it will be always from the backward only. It is better you go from the down. Okay, right, next one. Let us go with the next question as well. What is it saying? Again, we are going to find out an answer through symbols. Correct. Which of the following means A is the sister of B? A should become a sister of B. Again, you have to draw each and every option, which is not possible in your examination. So it is better you go from the backwards. Let us go with the option number 3. 4 is definitely none of this. A should become sister of B. A slash is nothing but daughter. A is the daughter of C. Now please observe. A became the daughter of whom? C. Next, C is the father of B. Father means C already became father of A. Now C is also becoming father of B. You can confirm A and B are definitely siblings, and I don't know what is the gender of B, but what is the question is asking, which of the following means A is the sister of B? Whether A becomes the sister of B? Yes. Whether it is male or female, I mean B, whether it is a male or female, end of the day A is going to be sister of B only. So my answer is what? Option number 3. Okay, please remember, students, I hope you understood blood relations thoroughly. Try to solve the questions, try to read your basics thoroughly and try to solve the questions. I gave you the introduction, I gave you the questions based on the individual and paragraphs, and I also gave you the rules, I also gave you the keywords, and we have discussed all the 3 models of different questions. Hopefully you understood this, right? Thank you very much.